Okay, students, am I audible to you all? Can you all hear me? Students, am I audible to you all? Can you all hear me? Fine. Okay. Fine. So today, I'm going to introduce the model that we're going to work. And after that, I'll share the materials. I'll share materials to group and we can discuss more. Right. The basic thing is I want to explain how our TRG session is going to be work. How our TRG session going to work. So in the month of May, we're going to meet 2nd of May, that is today. Today, just I'm going to do an introduction and how to prepare for exams, how to prepare for AAA paper, how to prepare for AAA paper. Give me 1 minute, students. How to prepare for AAA paper, because from skills to professional level, the preparation is two different things. So the way that you prepared for skills exams and the way that you need to prepare for professional exams are totally different. You can't approach the same methodology. You can't approach the same methodology to skills and professional levels. And also, even if I take professional level papers, those who complete SBR, SBL, these two papers, the pass rate is very good pass rates comparatively other papers. Optional papers pass rates are very low. Papers like APM and AAA. Therefore, again, if you did SBR, if you did SBL, and if you are choosing AAA as a third paper, again, you need to change your approach. So what I'm technically telling is like skills level to professional level is two different approach. Even in the professional level, SBL and SBR, mandatory module to optional module, it's a separate story. We need to focus in a different way. So that I'm going to explain today, and we can see how we're going to work out all these TRG sessions. And I'm expecting certain things from you all. I'll share some mock papers with you all, right? So you need to complete that paper and you need to send your answers. So I will correct. Okay. So that is second. Today, the plan is this. And 9th of May, I'm going to start a major portion called risk assessment. This is one of the major portion of your syllabus. ISA 200, ISA 315, ISA 330, and ISA 300. All these standards comes under the risk assessment, and also ISA 320. ISA 320 materiality. So everything comes under risk assessment. So 9th of May, I'm primarily focusing on what? Risk assessment. 9th of May, I'm primarily focusing on risk assessment. Sorry. 16th of May. 16th of May, 16th of May, we're going to discuss ethical problems, ethical issues and risk. Ethical issues and risk, or else I can take ethical threats, because people think, students might think the verb ethical threats and the verb ethical issues are same. No, it is different. If you look at your skills level audit paper, most of the time ethical threats and ethical issues look like same. You can't find out major difference. But when it comes to AAA, there is a huge difference. There is a huge difference. So let's see how to prepare for this. Along with this, we need to study ISA 210 standard. That is, we call acceptance consideration. All these things come together. Sorry. 23rd of May. 23rd of May, we are going to discuss procedures. See, if I take these procedures, mostly your procedures are assertion based. Most of your procedures are assertion based or misstatement based. Substantive procedures, audit procedure questions in your AAA, Advanced Audit and Assurance, either assertion based or misstatement based. There is a high chance it is misstatement based. Right? Then 30th of May, I'm going to discuss matters to be considered, one of the important area. Then implication to report. Implication to report. This is another important area. Then critical evaluation. Critical evaluation of report. So if you see, these are the main areas I want to cover. These are the main areas I want to cover. I'm not in a position to cover entire syllabus within this TRG. But if you want to pass, you should focus on these things. So that is what we're going to do it. So today I'll tell you the entire syllabus and how it works. The entire syllabus and how it works, everything we can discuss today. No need to spend more time with all the chapters. Because first I'll tell you the chapters and first I'll give you a guidance, what is there in AAA. Then I'll tell you how this can be tested in your exam. Because one advantage we all have, is questions are predetermined, except theory questions. Luckily, examiner do not ask more theory questions in your paper. Examiner do not ask more theory questions in your paper. Luckily. So, you should approach through past paper. Don't try to approach through Kaplan or through BPP study text or through study hub. So don't try to apply what, try to apply why. So when students are talking to me, always I'm telling, take the question, through that question, try to study. But that is the best way of learning when it comes to the last month. Those who are not yet started studying for AAA, still you have 1 month. Take all the past paper question, keep it with you. Get ready to practice. Sometimes you might ask, I didn't study. Just go through, spend maximum half an hour to 1 hour for that topic. Try to digest yourself. If you can't understand, leave it. Come to the questions. Right. First, I'll tell you the theoretical framework. Right. What is there in AAA? What is there in AAA? Then I'll come to practical application. That is how you're going to apply that to your case study. So if I take here, right, mainly external audit, 90% of your syllabus, 90% of your syllabus covering external audit, right? Under external audit, I'll give you the topics now, right? And the importance, right? Assurance, you might study. Corporate governance, you might study. Acceptance, you might study. Tendering, you might study. Advertisement, you might study. Ethics, you might study. Professional appointments, you might study. Professional appointments. And then you might study group audit. You might study money laundering. You might study something called evidence. You might study planning. You might study risk. This risk includes two things. One is audit risk. And additional thing, which is not there in your skills level, that is business risk. After that, procedures. After that, you might study completion and review. Then you might study reporting. These are the topics. These are the topics. These are the topics. So if someone asks, what is there in AAA? What is there in AAA? Majority is external audit. External audit. Majority external. So 90% of your topics are related to external. Then what is the rest? Other assignments. Other assignments. So these other assignments, if you look at, it can be a limited engagement, limited assurance, or agreed upon procedures. Now don't ask what is agreed upon procedures. So limited assurance means we are not giving true and fair. We are giving a negative form of opinion. Review engagements. So there are, you might study under assurance, reasonable assurance and limited assurance. No assurance. Reasonable assurance, example is external audit. Limited assurance, example is different types of examples. Right? Third one, no assurance. No assurance. No assurance means what? Submitting the findings. We submit the findings. Right? Submit the findings. No assurance. That is technically we call agreed upon procedures. So the rest of the syllabus, 30%, 80% is external audit. Only 20% is what? Other sides. So therefore, when you are preparing, most of your questions are from external auditor. Sorry. One or two questions, it can be tested through other assignments. What are the other assignments? Review engagement. Review engagement. And I can say interim financial review. Interim financial review. Due diligence you might study. Performance audit you might study. Performance information you might study. Performance information. You might study something called PFI, prospective financial information. PFI, prospective financial information. Forensic audit. You might study something called forensic audit. Social audit. Social audit. You might study environmental audit. Environmental. Right. All these things we can say other assignments. So students, if I take your complete syllabus, 80% questions come from external. Balance 20% come from other assignments. So when you are planning to study, when you are planning to prepare your study plan, it is very important to divide this. It's very important to divide this. Right. I can say like 80% of your questions come from external. I'll tell you what are the questions possible. And the balance 20% from other assignments. So you should divide your entire syllabus into two categories. One is external audit and the other one is other assignments. One is external audit and the other one is other assignments. Is it clear, students? Is it clear? Therefore, hereafter, when you are practicing questions, majority of the questions comes from the external audit side. Okay, so now let's look at the past papers. How external audit can be tested in the exam. How other assignments can be tested in the exams. Up to now, what I discussed, understood? Up to now, understood? Is it clear? So what I try to tell you is like your syllabus should be divided into two categories. One is external audit and the other one is other assignments. Is this clear? Up to now, understood? Now, students, AAA paper is a predetermined paper. Don't think Advanced Audit and Assurance paper is difficult. No, it's very simple. But only the problem is you need to practice. Only the problem is what? You need to practice. If you practice more questions, it's like swimming or it's like driving. Right? People can teach you how to drive, but it's your duty to drive and see. People can teach you how to swim, but it's your duty to practice, swim and see. So now let's see, there are standard questions. There are standard questions. There are standard questions available, predetermined questions available. This is one of the paper where students can guess the questions. Students know, okay, this is going to be tested. But the problem, then students know question in advance. All these students, before they're going to sit for the exams, they know what they're going to write. What is the question? When I say like this, people ask, sir, if you know the question, why the AAA pass rate is always lower in professional? Why students are not clearing this paper? What is the reason? Because if someone can able to guess the questions before the exam date, right? Where someone can able to identify examinable questions in advance, then why students fail? Simple answer I'm giving. When you are doing audit paper, it is similar to a doctor is doing internship. Why doctors need to do internship? Because once they pass these papers, exams, immediately they can't work as a doctor in a hospital. These people should do, doctors should do internship. Why? Because whatever they learn is book knowledge. They need to apply that book knowledge into the real scenario. What to why? It's a conversion of what type to why type. Based on the symptoms, they need to diagnose the problems. So therefore, this is also like that term. You know questions, but when case studies are different, when cases are different, symptoms are different. See, doctor can't conclude if the symptom is this is the disease. You can't conclude like this. Because for more than one disease, same symptom will be there. So case by case, you need to analyze. Case by case, you need to analyze. Here also, why I ask you to practice more questions, even though we know what is the exact question going to test it. What is the exact question going to test it, that we know in advance. But the problem is, the main problem is, questions are predetermined. Scenarios, we don't. New scenarios can be tested. Different problems can be tested. The case facts, symptoms I told for doctor, for you guys, I'm telling facts. Some facts are visible facts. When facts are very much visible, it is easy. But when facts are not visible, it is difficult. So within your case study, there are a lot of facts. Some facts are visible. Some facts are invisible. Some facts are visible and some facts are invisible. How to approach these case studies? Two skills are expected from examiner. Most of the students don't have these skills. That is the reason why students fail. That is the reason why students fail. What are the two skills? Skill set number one is professional judgment. Skill set number 1 is professional judgment. So skills required. First, I'll tell you this. If you want to do this paper, there are certain skills expected. One is professional judgment. If you are not good in this, your judgments apply to the case studies. If you are not strong enough to apply the judgment, then problem. The second thing is, examiner is expecting this. That is, we call professional skepticism. Professional skepticism. Every student should have this knowledge. What is mean by professional skepticism? Professional skepticism means students applying questioning mind. It is not doubting someone, but it's an art or an attitude where you take the truth out by applying your ability to question others. By applying your ability to question others. These two skills are mandated. Apart from that, standard knowledge. Right. Simply IAS, IFRS. This is also one reason why students fail. Always I am telling, you should very thorough with the standards, especially SBR standards, strategic business reporting standards. So when students don't have this standard knowledge, when students don't have professional judgment, when students don't have professional skepticism, these three skills, if anyone short in these three skills, significantly affect your final exams. It will significantly affect your final exams. Because these three skill set make your answer too strong. But mostly when I'm correcting professional level advanced audit and assurance papers, mock exam papers, one thing I observed, your answers are like more direct. Your answers are like you accepting all the points given by the examiner. There is lack of judgment. You weak enough to identify the problem because your judgment is not too strong. Skepticism mindset, the attitude, questioning mind, very, very, very less. For all the students, they are ready to accept the facts given in the scenario as it is. That is one of the major shortage. So due to these reasons, most of the kids fail in this paper. So I'm expecting this skill set from you. How to develop this skill set? One is if you are working in audit firm for a long period, yes, obviously, you are very strong in these skills. Or else, if you practice more questions, you know the facts. Actually, you don't know why you are writing like that, but you familiarize yourself with the facts. That's why some students, they are not good in work or full-time students. They didn't work with any audit firms, but they might score very good marks in audit. Reason? They practiced a lot. When you practice more questions, automatically this skill set will be developed to you. Right. Now, students, under external audit, what type of questions possible? Under external audit area. The external audit area, how examiner can test questions. The first thing is ethical issues. Ethical issues and safeguards. See, try to understand ethical issues and the safeguard. That is one major questions tested in your exam. Examiner might give you a scenario. Based on the scenario, examiner might ask you to identify ethical issue, and examiner request you to provide safeguards. That is one type of question. Definitely it will be tested. Definitely it will be tested. Now, today I'll explain what is ethical issues and how to write answer for those things. Okay, students, give me 2 minutes. Huh? Give me 2 minutes. Okay. Ethical issues and safeguards. Okay. Second question. These questions are predetermined questions. If you take past papers, even if your exams, this March, June exam paper, these question verbs will not change. Every year you will get ethical issues. Every year you will get ethical issues. But what is new? Case study is new. Case study is new. Questions are predetermined. And the second point, matters to be considered. Matters to be considered. Audit evidence obtained. Audit evidence obtained. So you should understand this matters to be considered, audit evidence obtained. Mainly, this area covers by ISA 500 audit evidence. Mainly, this area covers under ISA 500 audit evidence, right? Entire topics, what I'm trying to tell you is this entire external audit topics can be tested in these questions. Third question, risk of material mistake. There are verbs like this also in the past papers. Or audit risk. Or audit risk. The standards, ISA 315, 320, 330. Risk of material mistake, audit risk, planning and risk materiality. Next one, business risk. There is another question form. Tested is business risk. Business risk. Then another question, procedures. But try to understand one thing, there are IAS, IFRS issues will be given. They will give you a problem. They will discuss about a problem, a confirmed misstatement or possible mistake. So they will give you a problem. And they ask to perform procedures. They ask you to perform what? Procedures. So normally how procedures questions different from external skills level audit? Skills level audit procedures are specific elements of financial statement. Maybe sales, purchases, payroll, like that. But here procedures to resolve a problem. A problem will be given and they ask us to write down procedures to resolve that problem. That is also comes under what? This particular area, external audit. Not only that, why I'm telling all these things today, students, this is how you should plan for next few days. You have 1 month time. If you plan accordingly and if you practice, it is very easy to pass the paper. It is very easy to pass the paper because if you know how to approach, then if you practice, then it is very comfortable and easy to pass papers. Next question is impact to audit report. Impact to audit report. What are the standards? ISA 700 to 706. 700 to 706. The entire areas covered by impact to audit report question. Similar to your skills level. Skills level also you will get implication to audit report question. But sometime in your P level, Advanced Audit and Assurance, they might ask you to write down or take critical evaluation to audit report. Critical evaluation to audit. This is the most difficult task. Reason, you should know ISAs. You should know ISAs clearly. ISA knowledge required. Because in this type of question, students, examiner will give you like a sample of audit report. Examiner will give you a sample of audit report. And examiner asking yourself, okay, students come and critically evaluate this report. Specifically, examiner will tell, don't rewrite the report, but evaluate the report. Don't rewrite the report, but evaluate the report. When you are evaluating, you should apply the ISA knowledge. You should apply the ISA knowledge. And you should clearly say, okay, these are the areas we need to improve. These are the problematic areas that we need to take it out. Critical evaluation of audit. Apart from that, there are some theory questions possible. Especially theory areas, if I take, especially the theory areas, if I take, that includes tendering, advertisement, group audit, money laundering, important, corporate governance, any ISAs. Any ISAs can be tested. Any ISAs can be tested. Especially paragraphs. Paragraphs means I can say ISA 701 key audit meta paragraph. ISA 706 emphasizes of meta paragraph, like audit reporting related paragraphs that can be tested. So these are the areas. These are the areas can be tested under external. These are the areas can be tested under external. Right, here I can add one more point, ethical issues plus professional issues. Professional issues also tested. Professional issues also tested. Is it clear, students? Under external audit topic, external audit, these are the questions can be tested. These are the questions that can be tested. Trust me, take all of your previous past papers. Take all of your previous past papers. Apply external audit area. These are the questions again and again and again tested. These are the questions again and again and again tested. Now, rather than studying everything from the beginning, it's better to practice all these type of questions. It's better to practice all these type of questions, because let's say ethical issues and professional issues, there is a way to write answer. Let's say matters to be considered, there is a way to write answer. Let's say audit risk, there is a way to write answer. You should pick that way. You should identify that way. Then writing answer is easy. Right, when I discuss with students, it's a very preliminary analysis, right, a due diligence with the customers, students. I'll ask one question from them. Let's say if I am giving a mock paper today, how are you going to write answers? Let's say you studied everything. What to write, what not to write. How you filter that process. Because SBR means there is a format to follow, right? Tax means there is a format to follow, right? For example, SBR say group accounts, how to calculate goodwill, parent consideration, fair value NCI, total consideration, minus net assets of subsidiary at acquisition date is equals to goodwill. You know how to do that. My question, if I give you a paper, assume you studied everything, how are you going to write answer? The reply is, sir, we studied everything. We can understand everything. But when it comes to question, we don't know what to write or to what extent to write. That scope is not there. For us, the scope is blank. That is one reason why we fail. Because some students not writing the relevant content. Some students writing more irrelevant content. That is what called scope limitation. That is what called scope limitation. Some students, they are not writing required level. Some students are writing more than required level, irrelevant things. Both will make you fail. If you are not writing the required level, you are unable to score marks. If you are writing more than required level and if you are writing too much of irrelevant things, that kill your time, that eat your time. So if you don't have time or if you are running out of time, you definitely unable to cover other questions. Unable to cover other questions. Both are problem. Both are problem. Now students, let's move to other assignments. Let's move to other assignments. If I take other assignments, students, the questions are moreover similar. Any assignments can be tested. Review engagement, interim review, due diligence, performance audit, or performance information, PFI, forensic audit, social or environmental audit, whatever. Questions are predetermined. Most of the question format will not change. Most of the question formats will not change. First one is how to accept engagement. How to accept engagement. Fine. Simply I can say acceptance consideration. This is one question. So when you are studying these assignments, first of all, you should prepare a short note. Okay, we agree to perform forensic audit. At the time of acceptance, planning stage, what we should do. How to accept. The second thing is planning activities. How to plan that. PFI means at the planning stage, what you should do. Due diligence means at the planning stage, what you should do. Simply planning activities. Major questions are from procedures. Procedures. Performance stage. Right. PFI procedures. Due diligence procedures. How are we going to perform those procedures? How are we going to perform these procedures? Finally, report. Otherwise, I can say findings. You need to report the findings. These are the question formats comes under other assignments. These are the question formats comes under other assignments. So this is your syllabus. If you want to pass this paper, just prepare for these three columns. That's enough. Prepare for external audit questions. Prepare for other assignment questions with these skills. Try to understand. Without standard, you can't approach this question. Those who are not having standard knowledge, this is out. Those who don't have accounting standard knowledge, this is also out. Those who don't have accounting standard knowledge, this is also out. Those who don't have accounting standard knowledge, this is also out. So try to understand. Majority of your external audit portions, that require accounting standard. Is this clear, students? Is this clear? So I gave the entire syllabus into one chart, one table that give you an idea how to prepare for your exams. Don't start to prepare based on your study text, where study text and exam questions are two different worlds. Study text teach you what only. That basic understanding is required. With that basic understanding, you can't pass. Even though you are good in standards or even though you are good in study text theories, still it is not enough. You should put into the scenario. So try to spend more time with the questions. Make yourself familiar with case study examples. Make yourself familiar with what? Case study example. That make sure you are competent enough to pass this paper. Is it clear, students? Up to now, what I explained, understood? Now, you all know about your paper structure. I'm not going to discuss the paper structure and all. What I'm trying to do here is simply, I'm trying to explain as much as these areas, and I'm trying to set some scope to you all. I'll guide you how to prepare answers for these type of questions. How to prepare answers for these type of questions. Right? Today, let's start with ethical issues, professional issues. Ethical issues and professional, quality control issues. This is the maximum verb that you will get. One question verb. There is a maximum one question verb. Ethical issues and professional or quality control issues. Some past papers examiner might ask you, identify ethical issues. Some past paper examiner might ask you professional issues. Some past papers examiners might ask you quality control issues. But majority combination is ethical and professional issues or ethical and quality control issues. Ethical and professional issues or ethical and quality control issues. Right? I don't know how many of you all practice past papers. If you practice past papers, you might aware these question words. Right? Now I'll tell you what are the topics comes under these three areas. Because you are studying different topics chapter wise in study hub or Kaplano, whatever. But when it comes to question verb, you should aware what topics comes under this question form. After studying all those chapters, you should be able to do these questions. If I take ethical issues, you can approach this question, ethical issues question, you can approach after studying code of ethics. That is one topic of your syllabus. Professional appointments. There is another topic called professional appointments. There is another topic called acceptance. After studying these three areas and also ISA 250. ISA 250. Got my point? Oh my God. Fine, understandable. Okay, working hours, fine. Shifted to Friday. Okay. No worries, inshallah. If that is the case, okay, fine. I'll discuss this and I'll stop today. I will give you a revised schedule. I'll put, I can take it on Fridays. That would be more easy for you. Right. So not tomorrow. Right. From next week onwards, we'll do it like that. Right. So I'll put a schedule, revised schedule in the group. I'll put a revised schedule. Don't worry. Okay. Now, the first thing is ethical issues. To handle ethical issues, you should have this knowledge. So, how to prepare ethical issues question? First study these topics, then get ready for this. Second one is professional issues. Today I'll explain this and stop, right? And next class, I'll extend your time. I'll start some questions with ethical issues, then we'll move to the second verb, okay? Professional issues if I take. Being an auditor, being a professional, the relationship between audit firm and the client is a professional relationship. What sort of issues might arise? One is tender. The chapter called tender is important. You should study that. Advertisements. That you should know. Rights and duties of auditor. These are the topics, especially money laundering. Sorry. These are the topics that you should not study in order to analyze professional issues. Quality control issues. In order to handle quality control issues, you should study ISA 220, that is individual quality control, ISQC, that is we call firm level quality control. So first I explain you these three types of questions. If you want to do, first what you should do is you should study these topics. Theory. You should study these topics. Now, let's see, ethical issues and ethical threats are not same. How to approach? How to approach? Right? See, ethical issues and ethical threats are not same. Ethical issues includes number one, threats. Ethical issues include threats. I can say like this. Ethical issue is broader than, greater than threats. Ethical issue is broader than, greater than threats. And it is includes non-compliance with AISA. Non-compliance with AISA. When auditor is not following standard, that is also ethical issue. Because when someone is not following rules, Code of Ethics says professional behavior. What is professional behavior? Following rules and regulation. When an auditor is not following rules and regulation, it's an ethical issue. It's an ethical problem. And non-compliance with code. Non-compliance with code. Integrity, objectivity, professional competence, due care. Right. All these principles, confidentiality, all these principles, if someone is violating, that is also ethical issue. Therefore, students, in your case study, if the verb is ethical issue, that includes threat, that includes non-compliance with AISA, that include non-compliance with code. Right? So I hope up to now what we discussed, you might understand. And let's start ethical issues, professional issues, quality control issues, case study next week. And I'll teach you how to write answers. I'll give you a scope. I'll give you writing pattern. Then we can familiarize ourselves with this question format. Then you can practice all of your questions. Then you can practice all of other questions. Once you practice 5-6 past papers on ethical, professional, quality control issues, your exam paper is simple for you. Without thinking anything, directly you can write answers. Okay? Right, with that point, I'll stop for the day. I'll shift your time. Don't worry. I'll shift your time to Friday. The revised timetable and everything I'll put in the group. Right? Okay. Yeah. I'll share this, and also I'll share the tentative plan, the change plan, and also I will upload the question tutors. Right? Okay. With that point, I'll stop for the day. Thank you very much.